Hello everyone, I wanted to take a moment to give you an update on BD Retro Mods. I originally started this hobby of creating arcade style controllers due to this controller right here. I love the Sega Master System and using joystick controllers, but I really do not like how this one works. So after creating an alternative that I was happy with, I started exploring other retro consoles to make these arcade style controllers for. As I was making these for myself, I wondered what interest others may have in them, which is why I started BD Retro Mods. Since starting this venture, the positive feedback and suggestions I have received from people have been amazing, and I greatly appreciate it. Listening to the feedback and suggestions that I've received, I wanted to explore the possibility of using some different enclosures that could be smaller in height. After trying out various enclosure options, I'm happy to show you some new styles I'm using moving forward for my custom arcade style controllers, and my Etsy shop has already been updated to them. The first one I want to show you is the updated style being used for the Atari 7800, Sega Master System, NES, and TurboGrafx-16 controllers. This new style has a sleek slope design coming in at almost 7 inches in length, 5 inches in width, and almost 2.5 inches in height that slopes down to 1.5 inches. This is compared to the old style controller being almost 8 inches in length, 5 inches in width, and almost 3 inches in height. The top of this plastic enclosure has a slight brushed metal type look to it, and it has textured plastic around the sides and bottom of it. The back area will be where additional buttons and switches will go specifically for the NES and TurboGrafx-16 controllers. I'm also using black Oxide screws now for fastening the joystick instead of silver to also keep with this sleek look. The next update to show you is of the Atari dual stick controller. The style is similar to the original, as the extra width is still needed for this controller to be used comfortably. However, the height is now 2.5 inches compared to the 3 inches that was used in the original enclosures. I'm also using the black Oxide screws with this as well, as I think it has a cleaner look than it did with all the silver screws. The last design update that I want to show you is of the Atari 5200 controllers. This is using a new slightly textured plastic enclosure that is about 7.5 inches in length, 4.5 inches in width, and about a little over 2.25 inches in height. Just like with the other design changes we talked about, black Oxide screws are being used throughout the entire enclosure. I really like these design changes on all these controllers, and I hope you do as well. Next, I want to talk about the next wave of arcade style controllers I plan to make available in the coming weeks and months ahead. So these are the next wave of arcade style controllers that I am currently working on. One of the biggest requests I have received has been for an arcade style controller for MAME and RetroPie. I have one made that also works with the Nintendo Switch as well. I'm looking to finish testing it next week and plan to have some available in probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm finishing up a Sega Saturn arcade style controller and should have a couple available in the next 2 weeks. I have a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 combo arcade style controller made that I'm currently testing. This will likely be a month out yet before being available, as I am waiting for parts to arrive to make additional ones. Another requested arcade style controller was for the Atari Jaguar. I have most of the parts now to begin building this, and the plan is for this to mimic the Pro controller. It'll also have membrane push buttons on the right side of the enclosure to access keypad options. I'm also looking to add a rotary knob for Tempest to it, which I'll likely have on the left side of the enclosure. Since I'm still waiting on a couple parts yet, this is probably still another 3 to 4 weeks from becoming available. The last one I'm working on is a ColecoVision arcade style controller. I keep going back and forth on how I want to approach this one. I go between making ones available with the Super Action controller buttons with a full keypad, or going with a more simpler style that would be similar to my NES arcade style controllers. Those would have the original 2 action buttons and 2 buttons in the back that would mimic the asterisk and number 1 keys which were the most used keys on the keypad for a majority of games. There's a lot more expense in the super action button style with a full keypad, and I'm just not sure if that's worth the additional expense for the small amount of games you may be missing with the other option. I'll likely try making both options available to start to see how they go. I don't have an exact time frame yet, but I do plan to have them ready before the Ohio Gaming Convention season starts. So speaking of the convention season, my last update for this video is going to be in regards to that. I've had a couple messages asking if I will be having a table at any gaming conventions this year. As of right now, I am planning to attend the Ohio gaming conventions that I have listed here. As of this recording, I have been confirmed for a table at the Classic Console and Arcade Gaming Show on July 23rd and the Torg Gaming Expo on November 5th. I am waiting for confirmation yet on a table for CorgsCon, and I just submitted a table request today for the Cleveland Gaming Classic. I may look at some other gaming conventions, but right now these are the ones I am currently focused on wanting to do at the moment. So these are all the updates I have right now for BD Retro Mods. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video update. I greatly appreciate it.